Okay. So let's get started, man. You got a hell of a resume going on. I mean, everything from motocross to freestyle to sleds. I mean, you're a hunter. You fish. You're a father. You're quite busy. But I want to know a little bit about you, man. Like without all the motorsports involved, how is who is Josh Penner, and how was your life growing up as a child?
You pretty much hit everything on the mark there, except for I was born and raised and still am a grain farmer in Manitoba. So
Okay.
that's my main job. I run a family farm with my two uncles and my cousin. My dad is retired, so we grow about 6,000 acres of grain farm
Wow. Wow.
and just live on a 5 acre yard with my track and ramps in the backyard and do it when I can. And farming is full time.
So you're still hitting ramps, huh?
Yeah, yeah, still do it for fun. I love jumping, so that never went away. It's just the fact of I had to step away from freestyle just when I had a kid. It was tough to travel all the time, right? Because it's across all America.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So so I watched a lot of videos of you getting into racing, and I think it was a video that I seen that like I believe it was your dad who took you to a race, but he never bought you a dirt bike, and you had to cut grass to actually get a bike. Like, how was that? And was it one of those like life lessons where your dad says, "Well, this is if you want something, you gotta earn it," or were they ever supportive in your program growing up racing?
yeah, wow, you dug in deep. That's like
Yeah.
beginning.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my dad, he took me to my first race in Altona, 10 minutes from our place, local track. And ever since then, I was just obsessed. I would just read a magazine for 6 months straight and rip out all the pages, put them all on my wall, like, and just idolize all the rider. I knew all the riders before I even had a dirt bike, and I would beg him and beg him, and then he's like, "Well, if you want a dirt bike that bad, you have to earn it." So I had to figure out ways to make money when I was a little kid, and then I made about $800 in a year or just more. And finally, I went and bought the 1986 CR80. Thing was just clapped out, but I thought it was the best thing in the world. I had pictures of it everywhere, and I'd post pictures with my gear all hanging from a tree above it. Like it was like my trophy.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's cool to hear. That's like a prize bike to have right now, man. It's a little memorable
Oh, I
bike for
know. I
you.
look back on Instagram and see all these old bike pics, and it's like, man,
Yes, yes,
these are
yeah.
the bikes I wanted back in the day.
So, what was the first bike you actually got on the starting line with? What did you have then? Was that the '86 still?
Well, that 86, 84 CR didn't make it to the starting line. It broke down, of course, like it always
Mm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
And we borrowed a guy's bike that was for sale at the track. So it was like a 1996 CR80. So it was like 2 years old, and I was like, wow, this thing just. It made my bike feel like crap. The thing had so much power. It was so awesome. But I think that whole year I borrowed. Oh no, my dad went and got a bike for me just because he felt bad that my bike was broken all year. We couldn't get parts for it because it was so old. So he went and got one, like a 92 CR80. So I raced all year with that. And I got like last, second last, all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave me crap. He's like, "Oh, like if you love this so much, why don't you put any effort into it?" And gave me shit and all this stuff. And I was like, "Fine." And then I started. I started at the end of the year. I finally got some decent results, and then he kind of, okay, yeah, you're taking it a bit serious, okay.
Okay.
And then next year, I finally got a new bike, and I was committed as ever, and I won a championship right away,
Oh, right
and
on.
then it all started snowballing from there.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, you. So when did you actually turn pro? What
I
year was it? How
was,
long did it take you to turn pro?
uh, oh man, these are years back. I was 17 when I turned pro. I was I remember racing intermediate when I was 15 and the youth class, and guys were getting pissed because I was too young in the youth class, but I was winning anyways.
Hmm.
Next year I won all the intermediate stuff provincially, And then the following year, so when I was 17, then I finally turned pro. I was a big kid back then. Like I was
Mhm.
fat, and
Okay.
I got on the 1.5 two-stroke, and
Mhm.
that thing was slow for me. Like I was overweight my first year pro. I had speed for the first few laps. I think my
Mhm.
best finish was like a fourth in
Okay.
pro, and I knew I could run up there, but
Yeah.
I was too heavy, and I just couldn't hang on. So the first year sucked, and then finally I was like, oh, I need to train. Like I need to do something. This isn't working.
Mm.
So the next year, I got a 450 and a 250F. That was when they first came out with four strokes, and finally had some power. And then I
Mhm.
started losing weight, and then all of a sudden, oh, I can get whole shots now, and oh, I can last the whole races. And then I started winning, and
Nice.
then went pretty good from there. And then I started doing nationals.
Okay.
I took training. Well, as soon as I started winning, because of training,
Mhm.
it kind of like got addicting. I took it over the top, and then I didn't really know what I was doing.
Mhm.
Lost too much weight, got too skinny,
Mm.
started getting injured all the time.
Okay.
Like I was clueless. I didn't really have any guidance, so I thought, if I just the more I trained, the more I'd win, right? But
Yeah.
no, I was doing the opposite to myself. So I got quite a bit injured for a long time, for a few years,
Mhm.
until I actually got a trainer and figured shit out. And I'd say it set me back for ways, but whatever. It's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to take a step back to get, a couple steps ahead. That's just how it is, and in life in general. But once you started racing and your game plan picked up, like at what point did you say, you know what, I want to hit ramps, I want to freestyle? Why was that integrated?
Oh, so this was later in my career of racing motocross. I was a top province and been recognized nationally, like getting a few top 15s, national numbers, and stuff like that. Just the privateer stuff. I never made it to the factory level. I was like right on the cusp a few times,
Hmm.
but nothing didn't fall into place.
Did you ever ride
And
for a privateer team at all, or you just kind of did your own program?
no, I was always on my own program, except for yeah, I was on my own program, but I was always I had some support from a few teams like Suzuki and stuff like that. It was just kind of backdoor stuff.
Okay.
And then I was factory ride for a day through Racer X Canada when they were around. So that was with like the likes of Brock Hoyer and
Hmm.
Ryan Miller. We were all a part of that whole gig because they were supporting up and coming pro guys. So that was pretty cool. And no, it's always just provincially stuff.
Hmm.
So I won a provincial championship, a few of them. Actually, just one provincial championship,
Okay.
a bunch of other youth championships and stuff.
So you did arena
So
cross as
later
well.
on,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so later on, I was still racing, but I was getting more into farming and stuff, so I couldn't commit to whole series.
Hmm.
But then the series kind of was falling apart, and the payouts were getting low. And
Hmm.
I remember one race I was racing against Jimmy Dakotas. He came up for a provincial race, and I got second behind him. And when I opened up the second place envelope, and I got $45, so I didn't even make my entries.
Wow.
And I was
Wow.
like, man, this isn't cutting it. Like I gotta.
Yeah.
This is. He was taking the fun out of it for me. Like there was no reward anymore.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go ride then. I'm gonna go home and build jumps and just keep riding for fun. If I, you know, have nothing to race for anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and that led it to a compound, and you started getting real big into freestyle. I mean, you were doing quite a few things in freestyle. I mean, how did that excel for you once you decided to go that route?
Yeah, I've always been a whip guy. So
Hmm.
as soon as I got a ramp, I realized I could whip it even bigger, have more airtime and stuff.
Hmm.
Because tracks jumps nowadays are just small.
Hmm.
So I was having a blast doing that, and social media started, like Instagram started, and it was all a brand new thing. And all of a sudden, companies are recognizing my whips and reposting, and things just started escalating from there. I was like, whoa, this is cool. Started getting a few calls from freestyle promoters. Hey, do you do shows? Like, you want to come to the show,
Hmm.
or we'll get you in this show. I was like, okay. So I went down to Minnesota at Heydays to do my first freestyle show,
Okay.
and I could do a knack and maybe a seat grab and a whip. That's all I could do,
Okay.
and it just I don't know. Everyone was cheering for me, and everyone couldn't believe my whips and stuff, and it was awesome. And then at the end of the day, it's like, holy crap! I just got $1,500. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, this is the most money I've ever made riding a dirt bike.
Yeah. 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 So that
And
was
it was
pretty
all
much your.
just fun, right? Just hitting a jump.
So that was pretty much your payout. Like as far as like, I mean, from motocross to transition into freestyle, how long did you guys end up doing freestyle for? As far as like making money.
I kept, yeah, well, I'm a very competitive person, so I like to push myself. It's like, if I learn one trick, okay, well, it's good for a week, and then I have to learn something else because I get bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing led to another. My buddy convinced me to mini flip, and then so I learned a mini flip, and then I was like, oh shit, now I want to do a big flip, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
had to go, and I was doing freestyle at the same time with my snowmobile.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I took both my machines and went out to Wisconsin, Wisconsin, nope, Michigan. Scott Murray's place. He has a big foam pit training facility.
Okay.
Brought my dirt bike and sled and just went to learn to flip both same week and came home just so I could flip them. Because flipping them was another $1,000 more,
Oh
another
wow.
$2,000 more on a snowmobile.
Oh wow. Okay.
So then you're making some cash at a show.
Mm-hmm. So
And I
it's
don't want to be just the guy who just does the upright tricks. Like I gotta do it all, right?
yeah, you
So
gotta have everything in your arsenal.
yeah,
I'm seeing some of those photos, man. You're getting pretty nasty on that sled, dude. Like you were, I think you were even the X Games. You had something to do with the X Games for a while too, right?
yeah. No, like I said, the once I started flipping, then I eventually got the invite to be an alternate in X Games. So they obviously saw on social media my name and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you go there, you be an alternate, and you get your name in the door, and then next year you hammer down the direct invite.
Okay.
And so that happened for the next 3 years, 4 years. I was in X Games.
Oh wow. So you were in X Games for quite a few years then.
Yeah, and my best finish was a fourth in best trick. I was
Okay.
like one spot away from a medal
That's
because
that's good. That's real good shit.
me and my buddy Willie Elam, we brought the quarter pipe into snowmobile best trick that year. We were the only ones to do it,
Mm.
so
Hmm.
that was pretty
So
cool.
you're out there innovating stuff at the same time, making
Yeah,
money. That's what's up, man. So I mean, you how old are you now?
I'm 30. I'm gonna be 36 next month.
It's 36, and are you still lining up on the line? Are you still racing? Because I mean, you did some arena cross. I think I seen a recent video. I don't know how old the video was, but I seen you know, in indoors doing some arena cross. Is that stuff you're still doing now?
Yeah, well now everything's getting shut down because of COVID again, but
Mm-hmm.
got that one in Alberta. Alberta finally brought back arena cross. They didn't have it for quite a few years. They used to always do the Lethbridge one.
Okay.
So they did this one in Brooks. And I was like, sweet. And I asked my wife, hey, I used to always go there. Can I go do this one? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. So I shoot down there in my van, and I was lining up with guys. Keelan Meston, I think he's number 10 in Canada, and uh, Quinn Miot,
Mm-hmm.
he's a top 10 guy in 250F class.
Yep.
He's from your area.
Okay.
And so I was battling with those guys. It felt great. I was like, no one knew who I was
Mm-hmm.
in Alberta because I'm just a Manitoba guy.
Hmm.
So everyone's watching them, and they're like, "Holy crap, this guy! You're keeping up with him." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
just here to
man.
race."
Yeah, you're in shape. You're dedicated, man. Even if you're 36, you can keep up. You can keep up with the young boys, no problem, man. There's a lot of guys who do it. You know, kind of fly underneath the radar sometimes. Even like yourself, like you were just saying. You know, like they didn't know who you were. You know, and you're rolling with those guys. I like seeing that. To be honest with you.
Thank you. I base it a lot on my training. Like I still take my nutrition and working out every day. Like I'm very serious on that stuff, and it helps me feel young.
Yes.
I actually right after freestyle, I got my leg fixed. It was like ongoing injuries. Got that all dealt with, and now I feel like I'm coming back stronger because of it.
What do you got planned for 22 as far as motocross resolutions, man? You got anything going for you for 22?
Yeah, actually, well, I was because of this arena cross and a few guys there putting the bug in my ear, like you should really do nationals. You could place top 10, like you could do it again. So I think I might try a few in the West there,
Okay, okay, yeah, I
give
love
that
to
a
see
go,
you. I
and
love to
see
see
how
you
I
out
end up.
there. Nice, nice, man. So what do you feel like throughout your career, man? Because you had a stellar career, man. You've done a lot just to start off on a an 86 or 84 CR80, and then to make it to all the things that you've done along the line. Like, what do you feel your most successful point was?
I would say my freestyle career probably, just
Mm-hmm.
because X Games and stuff. That's a huge
Mm-hmm.
something I never thought I'd ever do, and then
Mm-hmm.
it just happened just from pushing myself and putting my head down.
Okay.
And then right after that, I guess overcoming my leg injury thing to come back
Mm-hmm.
and win another pro championship in Manitoba at 35 years age. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and all those kids that I'm racing against are 19, 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Parents, you're making a
it,
lot of
it's a
parents
good feeling.
mad. Where the hell is this guy? He's got a full time job. He's out there ripping and beating my kids, going back to work on Monday.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
awesome. And then now I got a kid now too, so I get to bring my family to the race. It's a
Yes.
family thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like to buy her little dirt bike. She goes veen veen.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So, you got plans, man. So, are you teaching schools as well? I think you were even teaching a school, man. You giving back still?
Yep, yeah, for sure. I like to do that if I have time. This year, because of COVID, gave you that big opening and say everyone wants to ride, and they
Yeah.
really every week everyone wanted to do a school. Like it
Yeah.
just took off.
Okay. Now, do you when you get your ride time, man? You got places indoors where you can actually do a little riding and train during the winter, or you still ride in the snow, kind of rip around the track around your house? How's that work out for you?
Yeah, I try to ride in at home as much as I can. Last year it didn't snow much, so I was able to ride on the frozen dirt. Was I just put studs in my tires and I could
Mm-hmm.
still ride.
Mm-hmm.
This year we got quite a bit of snow. I'll clear some, make a corner track and stuff at home. A lot of times I go to this place out by Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Sandbox, or it used to be called Cedar Lake Arena. It's called.
Okay.
I go there a few times before springtime. That's always fun. But
Okay.
it's arena class. It's tight, but it's bike time, seat time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So you're looking forward. So of 2022, you're looking forward to pushing more towards the nationals. Or you're looking forward to pushing more towards the arena cross.
I'd like to. It would be a goal to get a top 10 international
Okay,
at this age. That would,
that would be cool, man.
yeah, I
I
would be
like to
pretty
see
pumped.
that myself. I like to see.